Hello, my name's Linda Beswick. I'm here to teach you the tarot cards. I'm going to share with you within the first lesson the first 10 cards from the Major Arcana. The Major Arcana is all about major life lessons in life. I want you to get your own tarot cards out so you can practice, and as I'm speaking about these you should be able to resemble the different portraits. So although you may have a different card to me, you should still see the same influence going through them cards. I've also put a PDF file below for you to print, so if you want to scribble over these slides you can do that as well, and it'll be good also just for rehearsing as well, so doing your practice, and for you to just keep going back and forth until you've got it. The information I'm going to be sharing with you is universal meanings, so that means it's nothing I've made up. It's universal meanings regarding the tarot card, and the system I'm going to be using is the Spiral of Life for cards 1 to 10. This will then enable you to give you the confidence, if you like, to be able to pick up any tarot deck once you've got this system in place, and you should be able to read these for anybody using any particular tarot deck. So it's going to give you the confidence you need, and I can't wait to get started, so let's go. So we're going to look at the Fool first of all. The Fool is card 0 in the tarot deck, and I want you to just visualise the picture with this. Within the picture you'll see the sun, and we've got the most obvious male, very happy, quite young, wearing quite happy flamboyant clothing, I'm going to say. And he's got his little companion there as well. He's wearing what I would call socks. I wouldn't think I'd be wearing them on a cliff, if I'm being honest with you. But he doesn't care. As you can see by his sleeves, he's just a free spirit. He's flowing, he's going, and he's ready, he's prepared because he's got his bag. And if you can see also, there's a white rose there as well. Now, within that detail, you've got colours, you've got the rose, you've got the sun, you've got the bag, you've got the dog. So the dog tells me that he's got a really good companion there. The white rose to me symbolises purity and peace. Now that could symbolise something else to you, so write down what white means to you, and next time you see that in a card you'll be able to portray that colour throughout. That'll give you sort of like an intuitive way of remembering what colour white means to you. He's got his bag, he's happy, he's got his head in the sky, and he doesn't really care. And what you can see here is he's actually on a cliff. Now, what we do know is that he's going to walk off this cliff, but what we don't know is what he's walking off onto. So this card would represent to me sort of like a new beginnings, jumping from one to another, a fresh start. So I'm just going to share them words with you, and what I'd like you to do as we go along is try and just remember 2 words, okay, from the information that I share from you and from whatever you're feeling with them cards. If you're feeling something else and you've got other words coming up for you, use them as well. But for me, this card represents new beginnings, a jump from one thing to another, and a new start. So the next time I see that card, I'm going to remember that this is a new beginning. It's going to be a jump from one thing to another, or it's a new start. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so this is the next slide. This is the Magician. This is the very first card in the Major Arcana Tarot deck. And I want you to again just visualise the picture. So we've got the symbol of infinity here. He's actually holding his, I want to say candle, but it's not, and it's not a sword either because the sword's on the table. But he's holding up a light and he is saying, I've got this. And if you can see here as well, he's got the pentacles here, he's got a sword, he's got the cups, He's got everything that he needs. He doesn't need anything else. He's got all the elements. He's got flowers here which are blossoming. He's got flowers here which are blossoming. He's got a really bright, happy colour behind him as well. So I would say that this card is, you know when you get a new beginning and you've got that spark of idea, or you've got a creation, or you think, oh wow, that's amazing, I'm going to do that. Just let's do this in real life terms. I want to go on holiday, so oh great, I want to go on holiday. Where can I go? Oh, I want to go to Spain. This is an idea, okay? So the magician is saying that there's a new idea here, there's a spark of creation, and there's an idea, and you've got all the tools that you need. You've got all the elements, so you don't need anything else. You're more than ready to go. So that's what this card would mean. So what I would suggest is you write down those words: new beginnings, spark of creation, or an idea. And this is what this card would represent. It's quite a happy card because of the colours. It's a summary card, so it's uplifting, it's quite positive. So if you get this in the reading, it's quite a positive card, and the person needs to, or the sitter needs to, roll with whatever's coming. It's a new beginning, it's a new start, it's a fresh idea. Just starting, they're just at the starting point of this, of whatever this is. So that's what that card would mean. So write that down for me, and we'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so this is the High Priestess. This is the second card in the tarot deck of the Major Arcana. Now, I'm just thinking here, I'm looking at the colour blue. That's the first thing that's obvious to me. Now, blue to me, from a chakra perspective, is about communication. And it also means royal as well. And it also means loyal to me. So the first thing I want you to do is identify what blue means to you. What does blue mean to you? And then that'll help you move forward with the colours that come up in the next type of cards. We've got lots of fruit here. She's just sat there, she's chilled out, she's calm. She doesn't look so happy, but she doesn't look sad either. And what the High Priestess is, she's a lady that can, or a male by the way, she's a person that can go back in the past without dwelling, live in the moment, live in the now, and also look into the future without getting hung up. So she's really calming person to be around. She's lovely. She's quite intuitive and she's very spiritual. She's also good at finding the balance. So people would go to her when they need a voice of reason. Okay, so this is what the High Priestess means. I'm just going to share with you them words. So intuitive, psychic awareness or spirituality, thoughts, open-minded, and a yin and yang, which is the balance. So choose a couple of words, just choose 2 words that you're going to remember this lady by. And I want you to also recognise that this could be the sitter, or this person may need to take on these characteristics if this person isn't the sitter. So for example, if you've got another card at the side saying that this lady is quite irate or she's an overthinker, then you know that this card isn't for your sitter. But this is the meaning at the moment, so I just want you to identify that. So it's intuition, psychic awareness, thoughts, open-minded, and yin and yang. And we'll move on to the next slide. So card 3 in the Major Arcana is the Empress. Now, I do apologise, my picture's a little bit squashed here, but as you can see, she's sat outside. She's really, really happy. She's got a beautiful throne on. She's holding a globe. She's sat in the forest. How amazing is that? She's got nature all around her. She is just stunning. I love her. Now, she's also very well clothed. She is also very, I want to say, I want to come back to loyal or royal again, and what she brings to the table is rebirth. So rebirth or creation, but she's also an action taker. She also knows when to take action. So you know, we've got the idea, we've created an idea. Then we've got the balance and the intuition. Now she's ready to take action. Okay. So the 3 cards actually sit in a row here. There's a story to be told. You've got the first card, which was the Magician. You've got the second card, which is the High Priestess, and now we've got the Empress. Now, the first card was a new beginning, or a spark of creation, or an idea. The second card was she can look into the past and the future, and she can use her own intuition, and she's balanced. And the third card is rebirth, creation, or action. Now, what I want you to identify here is the story. So we've had an idea. We've thought about it, we've used our intuition. Now we're going to take action, and we're going to create something. So this is what this card represents. We've got home and family, we've got commitment and caring, we've got rebirth, creation and action. So she's quite a caring bird, she's a home bird as well, this lady, the Empress. She's very much the mother, and if she's not the mother, she's the person that everyone goes to for advice and support. So we've got the Empress there as well. So jot them words down for me, and we'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so now we've got the Emperor on card 4. Now, looking at these colours again, I'm using my chakra colours just to identify the colours around here. So it's all about the solar plexus. So this tells me this man's really wise and very uses a lot of wisdom. Goes off using previous past experiences from learnt lessons. If you look at this throne as well, it's made of stone. So that tells me that it's very stable, really, really stable. He's holding his anchor, he's got a crown, he's got this little wise old beard as well, which tells me that he's quite a mature male. And he's holding a globe of some sort there as well. But he's very well dressed. If you can see here, he's got his armour and he's in the colour red. So the colour red for me is power. Write down what that colour red means to you. It could be anything. But for me, it means power. And I'm just sensing with this card that the energy around him is just, it feels like a sunset, or the sun coming up, or the sun going down, either or. So if I feel like I can trust this male, I feel like this is a really wise person, and he gives me security and stability. And he's obviously, because he's sat there in his high throne, his stone throne, it's telling me that whatever, he's been quite successful in life and he's accomplished everything that he's needed to accomplish. So that's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about a strong man or a strong woman. It doesn't have to be male. Use your intuition depending on the cards next to you. An advisor, it could be a partner. It could also mean a promotion as well, this card. It's security. So, hello, I'm back. So, with this card, no, let's do that wrong. So with the 5th card being the Hierophant, let's have a look at the 5th card. So in this card, we're looking at these big pillars here. So that tells me that's somewhere high up. It reminds me a little bit of a church or high courts. It's somewhere really high. And if we look here as well, we've got this throne, and we've got these people here as well. They're actually looking on, and they're either receiving a lesson or a blessing or something of that sort. So for me, this is about leaders or counsellors. It could be about philosophers, where you're going to learn something, going to teach something, going to get some guidance or go and get some support. So that is what the, whoops, let me move my head. That is what this card represents. It represents a helpful advisor of a teacher, a professional help, a religious person or a philosopher, a leader of people, and someone that you need to go to seek advice or to seek counsel. So jot those down for me, and that is card 5, and that is the Hierophant. So I'm just going to move back up here a second. There you go. So what I want you to identify now, you've learned the first 5 cards. The way I would learn them is I'm using the story of the Spiral of Life. So we've got, you can use any hand you wish, that's fine. So you've got the Magician. This is the start of a new career, a start of a new idea. Then you've got the High Priestess. Let's have a think about that idea and decide whether we're going to take it or not. Then we've got the Empress. She's the action taker. She's going to take that action. She's made that decision. Then we've got the Emperor, which is about security and stability. So whatever action we take, it's going to give us some security and it's going to give us some stability. So we're going to go for it. And then we've got the Hierophant. So we know what we want to do and we know how to do it. We just need to seek a little bit of guidance. Does that make sense? So that's the story of the first 5 cards. The Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, and the Hierophant. Now what I want you to do is learn those 5 cards, just like I've just shown you there. Them 2 little words that you've got need to represent for your memory, for you to remember what them cards mean. So the Magician, start of an idea or creation. The High Priestess, intuition, yin and yang. The Empress, creation and action. The Emperor, security and stability. The Hierophant, leader, counsel or guidance. Remember them. Learn them as much as you can. Practice every single day until you've got them spot on, because what we're going to do in the next video is we're going to do exactly the same from cards 5 to 10, and this is the way I learned them. And then once we've done cards 5 to 10, we've got a system, and then everything else will flow, shall we say. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Leave me some comments if you can. Come back into the Facebook group if you've got any questions and you're not quite sure. And obviously if you've got some recommendations, or if you want to just come back and let me know how it was for you, I'd really appreciate that too. So learn them first 5, and when you're ready, move on to the next one. Honest to God, you won't believe how simple this process is, and you will be reading with confidence before you know it, as long as you follow the steps. So I'll see you in the next video.